Okay, YouTube, let's continue our lead bullet swaging series on the Walnut Hill press by going now to the 44. But before we get started, I think we probably ought to take a little more in-depth look at the bullets that you make with a lead swaging set from Richard Corbin, or probably from any other die manufacturer. It needs to be understood that what the lead bullet die produces, no matter what you make, it produces a semi-wad cutter bullet. Let me see if I can get a zoom up on this. Okay, this happens to be a Keith style bullet that I have swaged, and I want you to notice that right here it has a shoulder. All bullets that are semi-wad cutter of the semi-wad cutter persuasion will have this shoulder here. What we can do is we can make different variations of the same bullet, but with the regular lead bullet die, they were all going to have that shoulder. Here are some bullets that I've made in the past. That's a Keith style bullet with a gas check, and you notice that it has that shoulder. Here is a round nose, flat nose bullet that I've knurled and also tumble lubed, but notice also that it has the shoulder. And here is a 3/4 jacketed bullet that I've made on this set, but notice also that again it has the shoulder. These aren't bad, I mean, but if you need a smooth transition, or you want your ogive to blend to your bearing surface in a smooth transition like a regular Spitzer bullet or a regular round nose bullet, you can't use this die. And I have the other dies, and we'll get to those later, but you can really do some neat things with these lead bullet dies, a lot more than you can really even imagine. So let's take a look now at the different punches it takes to do different things. First of all, we discussed earlier our I don't know if you can see it or not, but notice that here on the front of the die is marked .4295 LB. That means that this is a 44 Magnum or a 44 caliber .4295 lead bullet die set. And just like the 9mm that we did the earlier video series on, this has your die, your 7/8 14 thread, your external punch, your retention hole. What this retention hole does is it keeps, when you go and raise your press, it holds the retention pin down till it gets to the top. That way you can work this easier. In this particular die set, you don't have to use the retention pin. It just makes things easier if you do. That, and notice that I have 3 different nose punches for this particular die set. And with this particular die set, I can make the round nose, flat nose bullet, this one right here, with this die and this punch, this nose punch. I can make the Keith style bullet with this die and this nose punch. And then here's the little jewel here, is our hollow pointing punch. And as you can see how large that cone is, that's going to make a big, deep hollow point, which is really kind of cool. Literally, using this punch here, using this punch here, we could make a bullet a whole lot like what they used to call the Weebly man stopper. It would be, if we just use this punch alone, it would make a huge semi-wad cutter, hollow point, flat tip bullet, like kind of akin to the old just old flat wad cutter bullets that you used to target shoot with. But imagine one of those with a hollow point. And as we do our video series, I'll make one of those and show you. So basically, with this die set, I can make a hollow pointed Keith. I can make this round nose, flat nose, and hollow point. I don't know if I have any of them. I do have some pictures online that I've made. I can make this style. I can make this style of bullet with a hollow point, or I can make the Keith style of bullet with a hollow point, or I can just make a flat hollow point bullet. I don't have to make a hollow point bullet. I can obviously make just your standard Keith style bullet, or your round nose, flat nose. Right now, that's to make the different bullets, you use a different punch. Now you can also change, and I haven't done it, I don't see no reason to do it, but if you wanted to ensure, like if you had a leading issue with some softer lead and you wanted to have a hollow based bullet to, you could, your extraction punch would have to have a dome on it, or if you wanted to do the base guard bullets, your extraction punch would have to have a cavity in it so that the lead could form to it. So that is basically the dies that we're going to be using. In the earlier video, I talked about tools that you must have to swage with. Now I think I should talk to you about tools that is very, very nice to have if you swage with. Let me back things up, and I want to get a little farther shot because I need to. Okay, this is a core cutter, and it's intended to cut your lead wire into usable lengths. I bought this from Richard Corbin. I think it was like $75, $78. And yeah, it was high, but it sure is a time saver, and I think it's really worth the money. So if you're going to get really serious about swaging, I really would suggest that you look into getting a core cutter. Is it absolutely necessary? No, you can get by without it, but it really makes the job easier. And here's a little tool that I got the idea from Ammo Smith. It's good for the smaller diameter wire, like the 187, and I had used it before I got my core cutter to swage 224 jacketed bullets. But if you want to get cheap and you're not swaging great big stuff, or you're using only pure lead wire, this could save you a little bit of money. I would suggest you checking out Ammo Smith's videos and seeing what he did there. Those are the tools that are really nice to have. Again, as I stated in the earlier videos, you can get lead wire, or you can cast your cores. I've got lead wire and I've got core molds, but we're going to talk more or less in this video series here with using lead wire. I have these two spools of lead wire that I use for swaging 44 bullets. This one here is 360 thousandths in diameter, a little bit smaller than 3/8, and it's pure lead. I bought it primarily to use in making jacketed bullets. This here is 0.420 in diameter. It's just 10 thousandths smaller than the bullets we're going to make, but it is extremely hard. It's 69%. It's 97% lead and and the rest is tin and antimony. It's hard stuff. Unless you have a Walnut Hill press or a Megamite press from Corbin, and you're using the Walnut Hill and H series dies, do not try to use this wire. You will destroy your dies. Which this wire here is another reason why I bought the core cutter, because trust me, and you'll see when we get to it in the video, this stuff is extremely hard, and it is a lot of work to swage a 44 pure lead bullet with it, because you almost literally have to stand on your press to get it to swage very much. So you want this wire cut as close to the weight that you want it to be as you possibly can, because you don't want to bleed much of this stuff off, trust me. So let's get our core cutter set up and we'll come back. Okay, YouTube, let's set up our core mold to cut a certain depth of bullet. I have a spreadsheet that I programmed from Microsoft Excel to calculate, based on the diameter of the wire or the inside diameter of a mold, how deep or how long my core needs to be to get a certain weight. Since this wire is not pure lead, I haven't checked it out yet, I'll have to be honest. I did run the program, and the program tells me for a 260 grain slug, I need to have 420 diameter, I need to be 654 inches deep. So from the top of here down here to my stop, I need to set that up at 0.654. And trust me, on this hard stuff, you want to be as close as you can be. So using our dial calipers as a depth mic, or a depth mic might even be better. I don't know if you can see this or not. If it doesn't come out well, I'll just cut it. But we measure down here to our bolt, and we set that at 0.654.